Hey y'all, it is officially soup season, so as promised, we are making the butternut squash soup recipe, and better yet, this is literally all made on a single sheet pan. We're gonna roast it, blend it, simmer it, and serve it, and we're pretty much done. So super simple, healthy of course, but cozy for winter. So let's jump right into it. So this looks like a lot of ingredients, but it's mostly just spices. So we've got, of course, a butternut squash there. I've got 3 red chilies. These aren't red chilies, like red peppers in a sense, spicy jalapenos, I guess. If you don't want a lot of spice, just do 1 red bell pepper. And then I've got 8 carrots, this entire pack of cherry tomatoes. Use either a pack of these cherry tomatoes or like 3 Roma tomatoes, and 1 red onion, 2 bulbs of garlic. We're gonna use 2 cups of bone broth. I'm using chicken, you can use vegetable if you want. We're gonna do a cup of coconut milk. The coconut milk adds an extra creaminess, but if you don't have coconut milk, you can use almond, 2%, really whatever milk you have. And then spices. I don't know exactly what all these are. Or thyme, oregano, paprika, and cumin. So this is pretty much what we're working with. We'll get into the spices later, but let's start cutting up the veggies. The oven is at 400 degrees. First things first, we're going to cut the butternut squash. I have not mastered a great way of doing this. Okay, I'm getting better at it. A friend of mine said to start at the bottom, like cut the bottom first and then kind of work your way through it. So thank you, Travis. But the little squash guts, as I'll call them, we're just gonna scoop those out. So I scooped that out, made sure I got absolutely all of the seeds out of there, went ahead and rinsed it underwater. Now we've got our peppers, just throw them honestly right on the sheet pan. And the bulbs of garlic, just cut the tops off. I don't know why that one was so hard, but just like that, so the tops are exposed. Throw that on the sheet pan. Whoa. And then we've got a red onion that I'm also just cutting right in half like this, and peel the skin off. And yes, throw the red onion on there. Now this carrot, I already went ahead and used a potato peeler and just got the outside kind of skin off. This carrot is huge, so I'm just gonna cut that in half, throw it on there. And then last but not least, our tomatoes. I am going to rinse these real quick. I don't think I did that. And on the pan, there you go. Now here, I'm just doing a drizzle of hot chili oil. If you don't have hot chili oil, by all means, just use extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil, any kind you have. I just like the little bit of spice that this has, but you guys know I absolutely love spice. So drizzle it over everything, carrots, onion, garlic, all of it. I would say anywhere from a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, just till it's nice and coated, but not necessarily swimming in the oil. So, love that. Super easy. We're gonna pop this in the oven for about 45 to 60 minutes. I will probably remove these veggies, all other veggies besides the butternut squash earlier, just because I don't want these to burn, but the butternut squash tends to take quite a bit longer. It depends on the size too. As long as you can poke it with a fork and the squash is soft, so obviously we can blend it into a soup later. That's what we're looking for. Seasonings will come later, but that is really all there is to it. I'm gonna pop this in the oven and we shall wait. All right, y'all, this looks and smells incredible, but the squash is definitely still very hard. All of these vegetables are soft and a little toasted, so I am gonna go ahead and pull these off, just set them on a plate, in a bowl, whatever. I'm gonna wait to blend these until the squash is done. Throw this back in the oven for, heck, I don't know. This is like really hard. Probably another 30 minutes. 30 minutes or so, and then we will be ready to blend it up. All right, it's been just about 30 minutes longer now, and this is perfect. When it's like this, you know you're golden. This is atomically hot, so I wanna wait about 10 minutes or so, then we'll just scoop it out to get it away from the skin and blend it up, and we'll have our soup. Alrighty, smooth sailing from here. So we're just gonna scoop the squash out like this. It's like really soft, so that won't take long at all. I did, however, forget to click record when I was taking care of the garlic. The garlic bulbs that we cut the tops off of, I just squeezed the garlic out because it gets kind of mushy as it roasts in the oven. Obviously, once it cooled, I did that, and I just threw that right on there. But from here, we're just gonna, little by little, add all of the vegetables to our blender with our cup of milk and the 2 cups of bone broth. I'm gonna use, how much of this? Yeah, okay, there's 3 cups in here, so I'm gonna use 2 cups of the bone broth, and then we'll throw all of our spices in there as well, blend it up, and then just put it in our pot and we'll be done. Now I will say, I've made this before where the squash does not come out this easily. If that's you, the squash isn't done yet. Flavor-wise, you'd be okay if it was still a little hard, but oh my gosh, it's so much easier if you just be a little more patient and let it roast. All right, that took 3 rounds to blend, but we eventually got there. Now, I will say everyone likes the consistency of soup a little differently. So if you want it thicker, simply use less broth. If you want it runnier, add more. You could use water. I just like chicken broth. I think it adds more flavor. But we are gonna simmer this for a little bit too, so it will naturally thicken as it sits over the stove. But now we're gonna add in all of our seasoning. So 3 tablespoons of thyme, and then 1.5 tablespoons of paprika, and 2 tablespoons of oregano, which was the rest of that jar. And last but not least, 1 tablespoon of cumin. Call me crazy, but I think it's super hard to over-season soup. It's like over-seasoning pastas, in my opinion. It's hard to do. I'm not putting this in the recipe description or notes, but I'm throwing in some cayenne pepper because you guys know I have to make it spicy. Just add a little kick there, and then just for flavor, a little salt or a little pepper, and then also some salt. I feel like bone broth already is kind of salty, so don't over salt it initially. Kind of taste test it first and then go from there. And there we go. So as easy as this is, it just takes a while, so I'm not gonna make y'all wait any longer. It's pretty much done. I'm gonna simmer it for probably 30 minutes before dinner. And then also, pro tip, I, like with my pastas, have to have some kind of protein in there. So I like just grilling some herbed up chicken and putting that over the top of this. Second tip or point here is this is a ton of soup, like a ton. So I typically just individually portion it out in freezer storage Ziploc bags. Freeze it. Next time it's a rainy day, maybe a snowy day, and you just want a cozy soup, super easy to just thaw out and have on hand. So I hope you guys enjoy the soup, enjoy the fall weather, but I will see you guys next week.